Today will be the first look of the Diana DZ from the Abyss headphone company. This is a very new headphone, and there are some design changes here that are really good. Now, I'm a Abyss Diana user. I own the Phi here, and I also reviewed the Diana MR previously. But today, let's take a look more at the DZ itself, how I feel about it, and also how I feel about the sound, because I feel like this is a departure. I'll say it's not a very far departure, but is different from the Diana Phi, and also different from what I feel about the MR. Now, before I start, I want to thank AV1 for loaning me this copy. This is actually their own demo set. If you go to the shop today, you will see the exact same headphone model. They actually loaned me for a good, few days to bring it home and try it on my own system. Now, today's review, I will not be, listening on the spot, because I already done that, and I done it in my system outside using my HM1 and my Live Harmony. But that being said, this guy, I think, deserves some respect in using the chain itself. I mean, it is an expensive headphone, right? So AV1 sells it at about 6,100 Sing dollars, and if you buy it from the Abyss site, it's about 4,000 USD. Once you add shipping and taxes, it's about the same price. So without wasting time, let's talk about the Diana DZ itself. Now, Diana DZ is the best version of Diana when it comes to comfort. Firstly, I find the pads are really nice. I mean, this is now leather pads, but with a velvet-like, touch here. So it's very comfortable on the ear. And overall, this thing is very nice and soft, you can see. So it is a lot more comfortable to wear on the ear itself. And also, I feel like this pad do seal most of the ears itself. No issues here in comfort. I love the pads and how it seals on the ear. Next is they also adopted this support band. So when you do open up, you notice that the support band is actually a bit away from the main metal headband. So last time used to be, there are some foam-like material here. There is still some, but you can see it's a lot thinner than even the MR. And even the old Phi here, yeah, this one has non-existent foam. While this one has still a little bit of foam, the MR has more, but now they have this band here that will support you. So when you wear it normally, when it stretches out, it does create like a support that wraps around the head, and as such, it is a lot more comfortable, like miles more comfortable than any previous Dianas. This is the nicest to wear Diana among all Dianas itself. Now, in addition to that, now you can see that there's some pattern here, and I don't know what is this version, but it's a really nice pattern I can see here. Well, it looks cool, right? Other than that, not much opinions on that. Personal preference on what you feel. I mean, the MR also can change some of these things, put leather and stuff. So Abyss is trying to, really reach out to the luxury customer and produce a little bit more customized headphones that tingle your fancy, if you ask me. Other than that, it is still a Diana true and true. The only adjustment is this one. It doesn't swivel or anything. So, if it fits you in the past, it fits you better today. If it doesn't fit you in the past, it may fit you today, but I don't think you should expect a miracle out of the fitting itself. The weight-wise, doesn't feel any more heavier or lighter than my old Diana, so still pretty manageable. It's still one of the lightest Abyss out there, about 380, I believe, 380, about 400 grams. Not heavy at all, don't worry about the weight here. Now, the cable system is still very similar as the old Diana cable, so no, they still give the same cable with the very thin lines at the end and then the thick lines up front. So pretty much the same. Now, the cables themselves still have that interesting shape itself, so you need to make sure that you have a specific plug. Of course, you can use any 3.5mm plug that's long enough to plug it in and then utilize it. But if you use this one, at least it retains properly and it fits flush to the casing, as what you can see here. Wrong side. So all Diana cables fit flush and nice to the case, and because they are held by the shape of the connector, they are really durable. You will not be able to break anything out of this unless you really tug it real hard and break even the shell. So that is the good thing here. Now, Dianas are still made of metal, so they are still one of the most well-built headphone that you probably can keep it for generations, There's really nothing to break here. Now, that is it for the build quality. Now, let's talk a little bit of sound, and this is where I want to bring my old Diana in to just put it side by side. So firstly, I'll talk about the sound signature of the Diana alone. If you are to audition it today and just listen it for the first time, this is how I feel about the sound. It is clear, clean, a focus and slightly bright mids, so it's very clear and clean there. The mids itself don't feel like it is very full-bodied, but just nice, really is just nice to me. And then the bass is present, it is very quick, very punchy, but the quantity itself is probably not the most you ever heard out of a headphone. There are headphones that produce you more bass quantity out there, but the control in the bass is a lot better than even previous versions of the Abyss, at least from what I heard on the first impression itself. And then when it comes to high, it is very extended. However, it is tamed, where there is not that much, sibilance or over harshness that may or may not appear in certain versions of the Diana itself. I would say as overall the sound signature here is a very, very modern take. It's still very responsive, very quick, very fun to listen. It is still a very Abyss type sound signature that you expect, quick, visceral, fun, punchy, and overall very clear and technically good headphone itself. The Abyss Diana is still that. But where it departs from the old Phi, and this is where the comparison comes in. I feel like when I hear my usual tracks, such as, Ibarra just now, and I also heard I Know Akuruhi, I also heard Heartbeat, I feel like the Diana Phi has this warmth to it, the full lower mids type of body to it, that it is very smooth, very enticing, and sometimes I would say it's very enjoyable, rather than the more neutral kind of rendition that is in the modern Diana DZ. And the next is also the bass itself. The Phi bass is like always present. There's always this very low, of course, it depends on the track, right? If the track has constant like bass itself, rumbles, be it in terms of bass guitars or drums or any form of instrument that pushes low bass constantly, then I would say as the Phi renders it, always present there. And the rumbles, the slam, if the bass do happen, is also very different. The Abyss Diana feels like a very organic slam. It slams and then there's the vibration of the film itself or something that and it is not like the most precise bass, but it feels very fun and relatively organic to me. While the Diana DZ feels very modern in terms of bass control. It slams, it controls real well, and it withdraws if the recording is as such. I think that when it comes to true to life rendition, the DZ is rendering it better. But when it comes to fun, when it comes to bass fun, the Phi is also better. And I also find that the Abyss Diana Phi does have a little bit more bass and a little bit more lower mids. Overall, a slightly warmer signature compared to the Diana DZ. Now, when it comes to the highs, I feel that the Abyss Diana DZ extends a little bit more, is a little bit clearer and smoother up on top. While the Phi is there, but it is not like a very big highlight of the Diana Phi itself. And the mids wise, there is a clarity improvement in the DZ. The DZ is clearer. If you compare it side by side, you will feel the difference. And even you compare it to ultra clear headphones like the YH5000 SE, which I have on hand. I'm going to publish a full review on that soon. I'll say as the DZ can fight very, very well with the YH5000 SE. While if you compare it to the Diana Phi itself, the Diana Phi feels like a step back in terms of quality. Now, you can see that when I compare it, all these are very minute difference. I think the biggest difference between them is really the bass and the body of the sound, which, is very first impression tonality thing. So, if you like the Phi, then the DZ is a departure. Now, if you just want an Abyss sound signature, then, whichever that tickles your fancy. While if you want a very modern sound, a very controlled and I'll say it's technically good sound, then get the DZ. The DZ is definitely, at least through my ears, I can straight away tell it's technically better than the Phi itself. But, sometimes it's not about being more technically better. Sometimes it's about the enjoyment factor in the sound. And sometimes you may want distortions and, like as I said, the flabby bass a bit, which adds a lot of flavor and, to me, adds that special thing inside the headphone. While, the DZ doesn't have as much special sauce to me. So, for me at least, I don't think I will outright go and buy a Diana DZ anytime soon. Same with the MR, because I do think I enjoy the Phi just a little bit more because of its very unique sound signature. But if I was to restart my audio hobby today and I was to hear both of them, I would likely buy the DZ because it is a more technically better headphone. Especially if this is your first headphone, I think the DZ is way better as a first headphone because it can really set a very good benchmark for what it means to be a good, well-controlled, well-engineered, a great sounding headphone, which is the Diana DZ itself. To summarize, Diana DZ is a very good take on the Abyss sound signature. It is very modern, very clean, and very technically, I would say, superior over the previous version, the Diana Phi itself. However, you may want to try the older versions if you are looking for some fun sauce to it. I find that the older version have a bit more fun sauce, but if you're looking for something that competes with the entire headphone market today when it comes to technicalities and sound quality, then I think the Diana DZ will not fail you. That's about it for today. I hope you enjoy my first look of the Diana DZ. Once again, thanks to AV1. They are located at Adelphi, level 1. Really have to thank them for loaning me this set and bringing it home, testing it out with my HM1, with my DeX and stuff, because this is where I feel is the best, I'll say, trial for the headphones itself, because you listen in your environment, you listen with your setup, and the setup does have a little bit of, its own characteristics, and I can hear very clearly between both of them in my own home. And once again, I hope you enjoy this short little first look of the Diana DZ, and I'll see you guys again. Bye bye.